to commit that into our sprint. And for me to do that, I'm just going to view as a backlog. And I have the three stories there. Okay, so there are different 2 or 3 ways that you can commit a story. You can click on the ellipses. It opens this up and then move to iteration. And the iteration which has been set already is this current one, which is the sprint 1. And then you can see that story having sprint 1. Also, I can open this icon you have here, there's 3 lines and rings here, and open the planning. And once I have the planning open, I can click on what I want to drag in there. Once it's highlighted, I drag it into that sprint. I can drag the third one also that were committed. So those are all the 3 stories now committed. So this is just for you, my team understands. So I'm just going to go, and then after that, you can see that everything is now in sprint 1. I'm going to go to the sprint in order for us to see all those stories that has been moved into the sprint. So this is the task board. This is the sprint board, and you can see all the 3 stories that we're working on. So I'm just going to talk to my team now. All right, QAs and developers, can we please create our task against the stories that we've brought into sprint? Thank you. All right, I might create for the developers, just so because I'm the one sharing my screen, so that you can see how they create their task against the story. So you have one story here, okay, on this row, and then you can see this green, the green icon, the plus and in the green box. So when you click on that, it opens up. So this is me. I am a Scrum Master, Moji, but I'm just creating this because I'm the one sharing my screen, and I'm going to create a task for the developer. Okay, so don't mix the rows together. So I'm just going to put, okay. So what I've created, this work item is called a task that I've created, is saying what I'm doing for this story. As a developer, this is what I'm going to do. The activity I'm carrying out for this particular story. And then I'll click out of it. And that is it. Okay, so because ADBC is not on the project, I'll just put that for Banjo. Okay, because Banjo is the one on the project. Okay, so I'm just going to give that to Banjo, the developer. So that shows that that's Banjo's task, is the one carrying out this task. And then ADBC, how many hours do you think is going to take you to work on this develop landing page?
Okay, let me say like 3.
3 hours. Okay, so you can see that once I put the 3 hours there, there's 3 hours showing at the top, and there's also 3 hours recorded against that story. Now, the estimation in hours for the task is different from the effort estimation we did earlier on last week, this Tuesday, that we did on the estimation, but it's different. But this is saying that it's going to take her 3 hours out of her capacity to be able to work on this. Okay. So Rita, please go ahead and create your own task also against the stories. And then I'll just do another the ADBC one. But ADBC, I'll be asking you for the hours. So I'm just being ADBC's driver, just so that you can see what we're doing, because they will be creating it at the back, and we'll just be seeing it on the board when I refresh the board. Okay. All these ones that I'm creating, it might not be like that. I'm just I need to open that one up to do it. might not be what the tasks you need to be there. I'm just writing all this out so that we have an idea, and then I'm just going to assign everything to. Even though I'm assigning to Banjo, we know ADBC is the developer for tonight. Okay, so don't let's get Okay, I think I saw. All right, let me try if you let me do ADBC. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll change the other one to your name also. I didn't know I have your name there. ABC. Let's change this one. So I can leave this one with Banjo. All right, ADBC, how many hours for that one to develop the sign up form?
I'll say 2.
2 hours. Okay, thank you. And then to create the sign up page.
1.
1 hour. So add your sign up form to the page.
1.
Another one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, Rita, are you creating your task also? Okay, so
Yes,
basically,
yes, I
yeah.
am. Well, I can't put my name because maybe because I'm using. So I'm trying to switch to tester account, but it's
Okay.
not allowing. So
Okay.
have you what under what did you create? Is this the blue sky or you've added
Yeah,
it to
it's on Blue Sky Citadel team.
yeah, so it's not allowing me to
Okay.
change to tester account. Yeah.
All right. So
But I've,
normally,
I've created a task, except I was unable to add my name to it.
all right, it's on the board, yeah? If
To
I
assign
refresh, I
it.
should be able to
Yeah.
see it. Okay. Okay, so you can see all the tasks that okay, I'm just going to put your name in on your behalf, Rachel.
Okay, thank you.
For the manual testing for the first one, Rita, how many hours?
2, please.
Okay, so while I'm doing this, is this one too also?
Yes, please.
All right. While I'm doing this, it's not the Scrum Master job to put the hours for the tester. Sorry, yeah, the QA and the developer. They will do it themselves. Okay, but it's just to show you what you're doing, and then you can see the 5 hours that has been recorded against that story, and also the 6 hours because it's calculated all this four, and then that's created against that. Okay, so Rita has created the manual test also for this one, which we're just going to. Just gonna put her name on that also. Rita, would that be a 2 also?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. And then I'll just create develop login for Rita. And then how many hours do you want me to put for this one?
3.
3. Okay. All right, thank you. And once that has been done, you can see that all the tasks are there in to do. Rita has moved her own to in progress because she's creating our test cases. Even though the developer has not started working, she's creating her test cases, and that's why she said she's put her task in progress already. All right, thank you so much, team. Do we have any other updates? Any question from anybody before we call our sprint planning a wrap up?
Question, please.
Please.
Why is the QA's work item under in progress? Because she's not actually started. She's just putting in that she wants to do it, right? Why is it not with the developers to do? I don't understand that bit.
Okay, so I just explained now that even though the developer has to develop first before they, okay, let me leave Rita to talk. Why am I talking for Rita? Rita, that question is for you.
Yeah, thank you, Moji. So normally as a QA, you can go ahead and start writing your test cases even before the developer put it into dev done. So for instance, once you start writing your test cases, that means it's in progress. And once you've successfully executed it, that means you are done. Then you move it to the done column.
So can we say that for the purpose of this, you have done that, and that's
Sorry,
why
did
it's
you hear
in
me?
progress?
Like I muted myself. Did you hear everything I said?
Yes, we
I
are.
heard you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying something.
No, I was just speaking up from that. So for the purpose of the demo now, we are assuming that you've done that, and that's why it's in progress. But on
Yes.
another day, if you hadn't, then it will stay introduced till you've done that. Yeah.
Yeah, so once
Okay.
you've created your task, so that starts with the to-do, you've created your task. So if you progress further to start writing your test cases, then you definitely have to put it in progress. That means you are working on it. So the moment you finish working on it, that means you are done with it. That means you've successfully executed it. Then you move it to the done column.
Okay,
It
so
is
what
clearer
Rita is
now,
trying
yeah.
to explain, sorry, what Rita is trying to explain to you is once you finish writing your test cases, your task stays in progress until developers own move to in progress, and from in progress moves to done. So until the developer has finished developing, that's when Rita is able to carry out the manual testing, but she's written her test cases to make things faster for her.
Okay, sorry, let me just clarify that bit. Okay, so is in progress while the developer is also still working on it. So once the environment is ready for me to carry out my execute my test case, then that means I've successfully finished executing my task. That means I'll move it to the done column. So in this case, even if your developer have not moved the PBI into dev done, you as a tester don't need to wait for the developer to finish. You can start writing your test cases. So once your environment is ready, and the developer said the environment is ready, because once it's ready, the developer will then move the PBI into the dev done column, which is on the board of boards, not in this bit. Anyway, it will still be on this bit, then it will move it to the done column. Yeah. So it will also reflect on your board that the developer is done. So once the developer is done, then you can then execute your PBI and also move it to done once you've successfully executed. PBI is product backlog item.
Thank you so much, Rita, for that explanation. So that's our sprint planning done. Thank you so much, team.
Yeah,
So
sorry,
Well,
Moji. So you
Okay.
cannot, there's no way you'll be done before the developer, definitely. So the developer needs to be done before you will be done. So if that makes it clearer.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Moji. Thank you.
That's fine. That's fine.
So sorry, Moji. This is Kemi. I have my hand up. My question is in the area of the estimate. Because I think, or I might be wrong, I stand to be corrected, that is the estimate that you are putting on those tasks that is summing up to get the estimate in the story.
Yes, the 5 you have here is the addition, the sum of these two. So, okay, so you have your capacity. All right, let me go back here. So remember, on Tuesday, we talked about capacity. We came here to say, what capacity is it going to take Banjo to work? And he said he's going to do 2 hours per day. Okay. Rita also said she's going to do 2 hours per day. Yeah. So if they're all doing the 2 hours per day and all that, let's go back to the board now. Now, Rita said it's going to take her 2 hours to do this. Remember, she's doing 2 hours per day. So definitely that calculates to, she's going to use 1 day, isn't it? To work on this manual test. Okay, so the one we did on the estimate board, that is efforts, and what you consider when you're estimating in efforts, that there are things you consider. You consider the risk involved in carrying out that work. You consider dependencies that might be in place. You consider things like the volume, the complexity, the technicality of it, and all that. That is what you put in place, which you would be able to have insights to based on the description and the acceptance criteria. That's what makes you to be able to estimate in effort. Now, the estimate you do on your task is the estimate, you do that estimate in hours. The one on the story itself, the one we did on the story, the 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, those ones are not in hours. It's just the estimates. Okay, is that the effort that is going to take both the developer and the testers to work on that particular story. But when it comes to the task itself, which is this card, this work item, they are now estimating that, oh, it's going to take me 3 hours to finish this. It's going to take me 2 hours. So out of the total capacity that Rita has for this particular sprint, she's going to use 2 hours out of it to work on this. She's going to use another 2 hours to work on this, another 2 hours. If she has automation to do, she'll create a automation sorry, I don't want to call it ticket, automation task, and then estimate that. Also, she might say, oh, it's going to take me 5 hours to do the automation and all that. That is part of the total hours she is committed to working in this particular sprint, which when we get to create our sprint burn down and all that, you will see how that shows on it, which is the next thing we want to do. So as a Scrum Master, once you wrap up your meeting, there is no other updates to give. You thank your team members, your time is up for your sprint planning, and then they leave, okay? And then what you do is, for you to finish up that sprint planning, you go on your dashboard to create your metrics. Okay, so that's what
Moji, you've got
Yes.
some people's hands up. Prep Major, I don't know who's
Okay, is
prepping.
that Laomi?
Yes, actually, Moji, before you move on, please don't be upset, guys. I would like to ask my guys, do you guys understand what has gone on in the last 10-15 minutes? You feel free to say you don't understand, and that's because you're here to learn. Don't be shy that, oh, no. Feel free to say you don't understand. So if you don't understand, guys, please, if you understand, let me see some thumbs up. Let me know that people are following on and catching on to what they are saying. So I wanted to put it in a layman, I'm just trying to imagine when I didn't understand all this and probably what I would have loved to hear, because they've explained it as direct as they can, but sometimes these things can sound a bit dicey until you start doing it before you get used to it. So the thing is, when you're at an organization, yes, for this passing of the ball, it gets to the developer before it gets to the QA. But just on a plain scenario, are you going to be paying the PA during the week that they are waiting for the developers to finish? Yes, you're going to be paying them. So they have to be doing something. So what are the things they'll be doing? They'll be getting ready their test plan, writing their test cases and everything. So it's just like you preparing before the baton gets to you. So by the time the baton gets to them, they are just delving into work and just analyzing what they need to analyze, raise their bugs and all that. So it's a continuous cycle. It's just like BAs too. Like BAs, you will never work within the sprint, kind of. You work out, pre the following sprint. So you are preparing your stories and everything now. By the time you're done, you pass the baton to the whole other clan. They are working, then you are picking new ones against the next sprint again. Yeah. So it's the same thing. Everybody has to keep working continuously. So I'm just trying to bring it home to you guys to understand why a QA is already picking up our own tasks even before the developer finishes. Because if the developer doesn't develop, what does the QA want to review? Yeah. So it's the same thing. So please, if you know you have questions, feel free to speak up now or forever remain silent. Anyway, you can't forever remain silent, but I hope you guys get it. Please, and for you guys today.
There are some people, Farouk,
yes, I can see them. Farouk, Rose, Isaac, will be as fast as possible. Tony, why are you laughing at me now? So we'll be as fast as possible. So we have 4 people. Please don't raise up your hands again. In the next batch, you raise up your hands again. So the first person go, Farouk, shoot. Thank you.
Okay, Olaomi.
Ma.
Just before Farouk talk, I want to quickly add something so that they will understand it more between the developer
and go ahead, Rita.
the QA.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry, I didn't see rather.
So Moji, please, can you go back to the sprint so that let me explain something to them. So you can see that this is for the landing page. The developer developer came here to okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm on the landing page. Equally, tester can also come to this is what I'm going to do. Tester can also raise an item here, but Rita chose to be in progress because she has started working on it. So she will first of all start from here. Then she can now move it, because if you move like my own, I can move to in progress. So Moji may move it to in progress so that they will see what is happening. So after I've done my to do that, this is what I'm going to do at landing page. So I'll now create my task, which is to develop the landing page. So when I'm about to start, I'll now move it to in progress if I've started. So and the same thing also to Rita. So Rita will start from to do as well. Then if she now started writing manual test cases, then she will move it in progress. So that was why she moved it in progress, because she has started writing on it. And she can start writing a manual testing, because we can all see that on this landing page, the BA has already written everything. So she understands what the requirement says before I start developing. So because she understood what the features is, so she can write her test cases scenarios. Then when I now finish my own development, so she will now, what I've developed based on what both of us is saying, based on the requirements, I will develop based on the requirement, and she too should be testing based on the requirements. So then when I now finish developing the landing page, so she will be able to now test, because she's testing what I developed. That, okay, what identity I developed, is it the correct thing? Because we can all say the landing page, what the requirement says. So she will not like, okay, is there, Moji, please let me open the landing page if there's anything there that they want, so that I want to explain something to them. So if the so what Rita will now do is that they said on the acceptance criteria is that there should be as a potential user of prep major, when they click the prep major website link, then it should direct them to the prep major website. So she needs to make sure that everything that she's testing as a user, because as a keyword you have the mindset of a user. You are testing as a user. So you should, as a keyword, you have everything. Your brain will be working as a user. You everything that a user will do on a platform. That is what you are going to be doing as a keyword. So, and you have to ensure that what the developer may say, what I'm building, does it correspond to what we can all see here? Because everybody can see it on the board. I'm developing based on the acceptance criteria. Rita is testing based on the acceptance criteria. So if peradventure are now on the view the home page, she can't view the home page, then she will have to raise it that developer, I can't view, or if she can't navigate to the website, she will like, I can't navigate to the website, what is happening? And if she navigates to the website and she's not, if the website doesn't take her directed out to the prep major website, is that she will raise an issue. Because it has been said that as a user, when I click on this website, it should take me inside the website. So if it's not taking me into the website, then there is an issue. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Then when she now like, okay, and when I view the home page banner, so there should be, I must have viewed, so she will be expecting that there should be a home page banner. She must have written all test cases, so that the one that test for the home page banner and top courses. So if I now develop it and there's no home page banner, so she will raise an eyebrow that, developer, what is this? I can't see the home page banner there. So that is why developer, when I develop anything, so she doesn't need the only thing she will wait for me is for her to be able to test the requirement, and which she has to wait for me to finish building the requirement before she can conclude her own job. But she can start by writing a test cases based on the criteria that both of us are working on, but we are just working on different scenarios. She's testing while I'm developing. I hope that clears. I don't know, is well understood. Hello?
Yes, because sorry, in my head I'm thinking about, and please do not laugh. Allow me, as I we should ask questions. In my head, I'm thinking, so let's say the task is, prepare a pot of vegetable soup.
Yes.
The developer,
Yes.
is going to do that.
Yeah.
And so the tester, ahead of the pot of soup being ready for them to taste, is expecting, in a vegetable soup, I'm expecting to see green vegetables, I'm expecting to see palm oil, I'm expecting to do this. How am I going to ensure that is there and that is tasty? So she's become proactive and started to write those things she wants to see and how she would test them. And that's why she's not in to do, she's in work in progress, because she started to do stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because the BA could have narrated that in the pot of soup, there should be ewedu, edikaikon, meat, turkey, shaki, everything like that. You understand what I'm saying? So, and myself too, I'm developing based on what the BA has written. So the BA said there must be vegetable, there must be ewedu, there must be ogbono, there must be turkey.
All right, guys, thank you. Okay. So just so that we can move fast, thank you so much. I was saying let's close since we finally gotten it. I'm happy to hear that somebody understands it. But let's quickly take the other questions very fast within a minute. Farouk, go first. Farouk, go first quickly.
All right. My question is, it might seem like one that's very basic, but I'm slightly confused because I take it that this section that we're in is the sprint planning section where we're planning, with regards to what we want to do in the sprint and how we want to go about doing what we want to do in the sprint. But then I'm seeing the to-do, I'm seeing in progress, and I'm seeing done. All these activities that are to be in progress and to be done, are they not the activities that will be in the sprint itself? So why are we having in progress and done and things being done in the planning stages?
Okay, so I think you forgot that we already did the first part of it on Tuesday. We started something, so we just picked up from where we left off. Yeah, so that's why we are here showing the process of the whole thing so that you guys will know what's going on. But I'll leave Moji to answer that part quickly. Moji, 30 seconds. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so part of your sprint planning is the creation of your task. Okay, so we finished committing the stories into the sprint. We're able to come on our sprint board. This is your sprint board now. Okay, your sprint page, that's your sprint board. We're able to come in here and your tester and your developers are able to create their task and estimate in hours. That is an activity, a process that goes on during your sprint planning, not during your sprint itself. Okay, so what led to this explanation that we've been doing is because Rita, as a tester or a QA, has moved our story into in progress, which you have happening also during the sprint planning. When you're having the sprint planning, once the tester creates their task and everything, if she wants to start working on it immediately, she can move it to in progress. And that's the explanation. I don't want to go into it because I think it's been well explained. Okay, that's why we're talking about that. But this is a steps that you can have happening during your sprint planning. So it's not as if, as you can see in the done column, there is nothing there yet.
Yeah.
But we finished the sprint planning with the team right now. That was why I said earlier on, thanked the team members for creating their task, putting it in hours and everything, and then you dismiss the team. But you, the Scrum Master, there is still some wrap up to the sprint planning that you needed to do, and that is you creating your metrics on your dashboard. And that was the next aspect that I was going to go to. You having the moment you do that on your dashboard, that is your sprint planning completed for you as a Scrum Master. It's already completed for your team members. Okay, because they've done what they needed to do. Everybody now just goes back and starts working. The developers goes developing. Rita that has a story in progress will now start writing our test cases and all that. But for now, what we want to do is to just go and wrap up for the Scrum Master, which is going to your dashboard to create your metrics. Is that clear, Farouk?
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Moji. Okay, Claire, Farouk. Quickly, Isaac, shoot. Thank you.
Okay, so
apologies, my hand was raised in error, please.
Okay. All right, I'm just quickly going to come back. There was something that we didn't complete on the board. I guess because of all the questions, I missed that out. So quickly, before we leave here, once we create our okay, let me go back. Is the sprint. Once we've done all our tasks and all that, Scrum Masters, the team has to have a goal. Okay, which I think we did last week. I just forgot to do the reminder. Last week before, no, not last week, it's Tuesday now. Tuesday before we already have the sprint goal, which you can see that is there, okay? I just quickly wanted to point that out so that when we see it later on, we're not wondering, okay, how did that come about? So we're just going to go on the dashboard and make sure we configure our charts so that it's showing the right thing. Okay. On Tuesday when we did it, there was nothing showing because nothing was committed into sprint. So right now what I'm going to do is just to configure it, make sure I set it so that it's showing the right metrics that is meant to show. Okay, it just has on the title, I'll put sprint 1 burn down. Yeah. And then it's for me it's too big. I'm just going to reduce it a bit. It's eating up the board. So I'm just going to reduce it a bit. The team members are there. And I want to set these charts to show the work items. Okay, to show the product backlog item. And that's what I'm going to use to set it. And then I'm going to come here. I want it to count the count of work items because that's what I've set it with. And then if you look at the date, I'm going to change the date also because I've set the board for our sprints to start today for 2 weeks. So today is Saturday. I'm going to click that as the start date. And I'm going to click, I think that would be 1 week, 2 weeks. Okay, so you can see today is the start and that's where everything is. And the other days are there. And once I've done that, I want it to show me the completed works where they start getting completed. And then I save it. So that's my sprint burn down. Okay, chart set. If I want the burn up also, I'm able to set the burn up. With the burn up, I want it to I'm not going to put I'm just going to leave that as the burn up. Again, reduce it if it's too big so that it's not eating up the board for me. And I want to set it with the backlog items rather than the sprint by sprint. I want it to show how the backlog is burning down. So I'm going to leave it at backlog items. Okay, and then the date also. I'll set the date 23rd and then the 6th. Okay. Why is it not showing anything? Set it by duration. I want to set it by dates. Okay, yeah. All right. So show remaining work, plot by color, and then I save that. Okay, so this one is showing me metrics for the sprint. This is showing me the metrics for the backlog. Okay, so please note the difference. And then I don't want chart for test plans yet because none has been created. So I'm just going to delete that. I don't want I thought I just deleted this. That means we must have a lot of it on. Sorry about that. So I want to delete that widget. Okay, and then that's the widget for your sprint goal. You can see the sprint goal, the same sprint goal we have is showing on your board. Now, this is your capacity chart. You can see that the capacity that has been entered, they are showing there already. So when we had the capacity, when on the capacity page on the sprint, we had 2 hours for Rita, we had 2 hours for Banjo, we had 2 hours for the other tester, and that is the 84 that is showing us. So it's telling us that for these sprints, we have 84 hours capacity to work. And out of that 84 hours capacity, the stories that has been moved to in progress already that they've started on, you can see the hours. So he's saying you're in progress with 8 hours of the 84 hours that you have planned for this sprint. And you can see backlog items 3 in progress. That means we have 3 stories in progress already. That is your capacity chart, and that is what it tells you. That is how you can read it. So briefly, without me going on the board, I can come here to the dashboard and be able to pick information about what is going on the project. Okay, and then here also, this is an overview of your sprint. So it's telling us that we have 28 days remaining. Okay, it's telling us that 2 work item has not started, 3 has started, which you can see that it aligns with this, and then you have 6 that are in progress and 2 has not started. That is what that is showing you. Now that is your velocity. Okay, the velocity is saying this is what we've planned. We plan to do 3 work items. We've not completed anything. We've not completed anything late. Incomplete is still 3. And that is the light blue shows you what you've planned, and then the other blue shows you the things that are incomplete, everything that is still in progress that we've not worked on. So those are the charts that we want to see on our board in order to use them to measure or monitor the team's progress, and also to give reports when the time comes. So that is Moji, the Scrum Master, is done now with the sprint planning. Once I've set this up, I've configured it, that is me done with the sprint planning, and that is the sprint planning completed. So the next ceremony we want to go into next with my team now is the stand-up. So we're just going to do one stand-up for us, but we know that stand-up happens every day. Okay, every day for 15 minutes. So we're just going to go into the stand-up aspect of things. And when you want to go into your stand-up as a Scrum Master, I'll come to you first. Before the time, let's assume that your stand-up starts at 10 in the morning. As a Scrum Master, you want to be sure that you've gone on the board just to check how things are on the board, and you run your stand-up on your sprints, not on the main board. You come to your sprints and you're able to see it. Now, while we were doing the Azure DevOps setup we did yesterday, we changed the state in some of in all the columns from just being committed, new, committed, and done. We changed it to having the columns showing the state also. One of the reasons we do that is because of your sprint board. Okay, so when you're on this sprint board also, you're able to know where a particular story is. So this particular landing page story is now in QA. Initially, it was in committed column. So the developer has worked on it, moved it to in dev, moved it to dev done because she's finished what she needed to do. And as you can see, it's now in QA. So that configuration we did also helps you not to be going back and forth between the two boards to know where your story, where your stories are, the column where your stories are, because the state is showing you, okay, what column your story is right now. Okay, so that is just another introduction before, so that you can see how you can use your boards very well as a Scrum Master, and that goes for all the team members anyway. So we're just going to go into our daily stand-up. Our daily stand-up starts at 10. Hi, team. Hi, hope everybody is okay. All right, I'm just going to come to you first, Rita, because you're the first person. And then you can also run this in two ways. Your sprint planning, you can collapse everything and be opening it one after the other and getting updates from there. So for you to do that, if you come to this place where you have persons all, if you click on this drop down, okay, it's going to show me if okay, let's leave it. Don't let me compound things for us. Is that's advanced. We'll do that another time. Let's just take it the ceremony. All right. Hi, Rita.
Hi.
Okay, I notice your story is still in progress. Can you give us updates on that?
Yeah, so the reason why my story is in progress is because there's an impediment. So my tester account is not working.
Okay.
So I couldn't create a test plan.
All right. What do we need to do to unblock you on that?
So I think the Scrum Master needs to I think speak to the admin on that, or maybe I think it's to do with the fact that we are using Blue Sky and not Gift.
Okay. All right. Let me reach out to admin to see how we can unblock you on that. I think it might just be a permission thing or access to it all over again. I'll reach out to admin on that, and I'll keep you posted. So because of that,
Okay.
there is no way you can carry out any
No,
testing work.
no.
All right, that's fine. I would reach out to admin, and then I'll sort that. I'll let you know also. I'll put a message on the Teams chat so that you're able to pick that up.
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
So that will be the same issue you're having with the second one.
Yes, that's what I've not progressed from.
All right, that's fine. Hi, ADBC. Hello,
Hi,
ADBC.
Moji. Yeah,
Hi.
hi, Moji.
Yeah, can you give us updates, please, on the your task on the sign-up page?
Yes, on tax on the sign-up page, I'm about to start building the sign-up page because I just finished developing the landing page. So I will start creating today I will work on the sign-up page.
All right, thank you. Don't forget to move your story to in progress once you start, yeah?
Okay, I will.
All right, thank you so much for that. And then I noticed you finished what you needed to do at ABC on this one, but we're blocking Rita because of the access she's not having to use the tester account. Okay, so yeah, I will sort that out today for you, Rita, so that at least you're able to. Okay, so does anybody have any further updates to give?
None from me.
Not from you. Did we see any other updates? Anything you want me to do to help?
No, not for
Anything?
me. No.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. All right, team. Let's have a wonderful day. Rita, I'll reach out to you later on once I get information for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks. That's our stand-up done. Okay, so for your stand-up is just what did you do yesterday? What are you doing now? And do you have any impediment? And that's what you've just seen us do. Or because we're just 3 people running the demo for this stand-up. That's why it's that short. But it's a time box meeting for 15 minutes. So that is the stand-up done. And you do that every single, sorry about this. You do that every single day of your sprint, just to get those updates and plan, how to go forward. So we're going to go now to the next meeting, which is the next ceremony, sorry, which is our review. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all these stories because it's just for demo purposes. I'm just going to move all these stories, assuming that our developer has finished what they need to do. I'm also going to move this Rita's story, believing that she has been unblocked now and she's able to use the tester account to do what she needed to do, because we just want to see what our chat would show and things like that. Okay, so we're going into the next meeting. Okay, so I've moved all the stories. As you can see, all the stories are right now in done. We've completed what we've committed into the sprint to do. What we need to do also is to make sure that we're moving our stories across also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the main board, okay, to show you a process also that we need to bring in. Uzo, are you there? Hi, Uzo.
Hi, hello. Yes, I
I'm
am.
going to move all the stories to QA done, and then you can explain to the team what I know you're not able to be on the board, but just make me your driver and then tell me what to do so that they are aware what the BA does with the stories once it's in QA done. So all our stories are in QA done. Go ahead, Uche. Sorry, Uzo.
Sorry. I just missed the last part. I think my internet went off. Could you just repeat what you said?
Okay, yeah. So all the stories that we worked on during the sprint, the 3 stories, they are in QA done. So we just want you to explain to the team what the BA does with UAT.
So at this point, I open up the story and I make sure that it's all the everything that was in my user story has been done, basically. Like it meets, it's been, all the features, all the requirement has been implemented, has been met. And once it is, then I move it to in UAT. And then I move it to UAT. Once I confirm that it's been implemented, and I move it to UAT done.
Okay, so Uzo has confirmed that everything is done. So I'm just going to move all the stories into UAT done. Okay, so that's UAT done on it. And then now you can see that for the 2 tasks that are raised on this is 2/2. That was what I was explaining yesterday. And then you can see for all the 4 tasks that are raised on it, they are in 4/4 and all that. Now that you can see that as a Scrum Master to know that, okay, all the tasks has been done on it and everything, then you can close the story, move it to done. It's completed. What we said we're going to work on during that sprint has been completed. Okay. So everything has been completed. So the next ceremony we're going into is to have a review with the PO in order to talk about what we've done. So we're going to start our review ceremony. That's what we want to do now. Hi, Bolu.
Hi, Moji, I'm here. Yeah.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, Bolu. Hi, thanks for joining us for this meeting. What you wanted us to work on during the sprints, we've been able to complete it. We completed everything we took into sprint. So we'll just want to talk about it. We've sent you the link in order for you to see what has been done in line with the user's expectation and the acceptance criteria that you've put in place for us. So I'm not sure if you have any feedback for the team.
Yeah, well done to the team. I don't know if the developer is available to do a quick demo, but if not, I'm happy with what has been done so far. I went through all the stories and they are good.
All right, thank you so much. Team members, I don't know, do we have anything we want to check with the PO? She's happy with what we've done. She's happy with the features that we've created. So thank you so much for your hard work for these 2 weeks of the sprint. Bolu, do you have anything for us, maybe for future sprint? I know that you're working with the BAs to approve the story that will be taken into sprint. That I'm sure that has been done already. Yes, just to know if you have any feedback for us.
No, myself and the B discussing preparatory for the next sprint.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Bolu, for that. And thank you, team, for the good work. Well done, for good work done during the sprint. Thanks. Okay, so and that is your review wrap up. Okay, so your review might not be as easy as that. We're looking at time okay, so just to give you a demo, but in another review, you might have a situation where the PO or the stakeholders might not just be your PO. Your PO alone won't be the only one in your review. You'll have the stakeholders, maybe the project sponsor also joining that meeting. They've seen the feature. You will demo it also for them again during the review, and then they're able to give comments. They're able to pass comments, regarding what they're able to give you feedbacks. If they need anything that needs to be adjusted and all that, they're able to give you feedback on that. And then the team is able also to take that feedback into the next sprints that they're going to go to. The BO anyway, and the BA will talk about the feedback. If it needs new story being written for that, it will be written. If it needs us adjusting things, new stories can be written also for us to do that. So that's just quickly to tell us that for the demo is why we're making it this fast, but it might not be as rosy as what you've just heard right now. Okay, so we're going to go to the next ceremony, which is our retrospective. So we finished the sprint. We want to reflect on the way we've worked during the sprint so that we improve our process of working and the progress going forward. Okay, so I'm just going to go on our retrospective board, which already I've created. Remember on Tuesday, that has been created already, I think. Okay, so that's the retrospective. So Rita, are you able to add comment on the board, please? Okay, so this is our retro meeting. Before we add comment on the board, hi guys, hi Rita, hi ADBC. Hope you've all had a wonderful time. Hi Uzo. Okay, so let's
Moji.
let down our hair. Okay, we've had a wonderful time during the sprint. So before we go into the sprint retro, let's just have a brief game to do. So I don't have a PowerPoint for our game. It's just we're just going to talk through it, and you have just in 30 seconds. Okay, it has to be 30 seconds. Everyone in 30 seconds, unmute and tell me. You got a knock on your door, and somebody walked in with a briefcase and handed it over to you. That the World Bank or any bank, of reputable background has just decided to give you a sum of 1 million naira in cash. What is your first thoughts? What would be the first thing that would jump out of your mouth or comes into your mind or jumps out of your mouth? I'll start with you, Uzo. The 30 seconds is counting.
firstly, I'll make sure that they it's not mistaken identity. and I want to find out what happened. Like
No, it's your first thought way after. So it's just the first thing you would either think or say is, I hope you're not mistaken, isn't it?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
hope it's the right person.
Adebisi, what would be your first thoughts? And they open the briefcase, you can see the money. It's not as if they're pretending. You can see the 1 million cash in the briefcase. What would be your first thoughts? Rita, don't overthink it. I'm coming to you, so don't overthink.
My first thought is how I will make the money, how I will bank the money.
How you will plan the money.
Yes, how I'll bank it. Yes,
bank it. You are looking for money, Adebisi. You're truly looking for money. You're not even shocked that somebody is bringing 1 million cash to you. You're thinking about how you bank it. You're not expecting it before, you know.
Yes, I was not expecting. Somebody just came and give it to me. I was like, maybe my prayer has been answered. Me.
Adebisi,
Probably, maybe my.
Are you an Ijebu woman?
Of course.
Okay, Rita, shoot. What would be your first thought?
I will scream, definitely.
That's me. I will scream.
Yeah.
Or I will try and pinch myself from the dream so that I can
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that. It's just to show us that when the expected comes, there are times when you don't expect things. So we're working, we're doing what we're doing, we're on that environment, you find something unexpected and everything. You just need to think through. Even when you stop for a minute to say, oh wow, I'm not expecting this. But you don't stop there. You get creative and then you move on. So that's just, kind of the lesson behind our little game, that we should always be prepared and always be ready and don't get stuck when things happen or we're saying things that we don't, the unbelievable kind of, if I can put it that way, for the first time. We're ready and then we're thinking it through and being creative and making things work. All right, Tim, thanks so much for that. Let's put our comments on the board. First column, you have what went well, what didn't go well during the sprint for us, what we want to improve on. So we can only write in the first 3 columns. Okay. If you're not able to access the board at DBC, let me know what you want me to put on the board, and then I'll do that for you on your behalf. I'll be your driver. I'll put that on the board for you.
Okay. So on what? Let me increase it for you so I can see. 1 minute, no, 1 minute. So on what went well, I was able to create the landing page.
Okay. I'm coming out. I have to write that now.
Oh, okay. I was able to okay, the landing page. So what didn't go well?
Okay.
Yeah, what didn't go well was initially the misunderstood of the requirements from the BA. Okay, possibly I can have that. And there was a network glitch in the old organization where we had a network glitch before it was not technically resolved.
All right. Let me know what you want me to put for improvement.
Yeah, oh yeah, for improve, okay. Yeah, collaboration, adequate collaboration between developer and the BA. So in order to understand the requirements more.
Okay, do you want me to put shared understanding
Shared
of the
understanding, yes.
requirements? Okay.
Yes, shared understanding of requirement, yes. Thank you.
Okay, so if everyone is done with the post, we can go through them. So we'll start with the what went well column. I'll start from the bottom of I can start from the top going to the bottom. Okay, so the first comment says the PO was very responsive, even when we had to reconfirm the requirements. So thank you so much, Bolu, for that, helping us out with that. And then the creation of the landing page, we're able to achieve that. Actually, we achieved all our sprints, all everything in our sprint book, which includes the landing page, the sign up, and also the login. So well done, team, for that good work we did during the sprint. Even with all the glitches that we had, we're still able to achieve our sprint goal. So well done, team, for that. And then attendance was great. Thank you. We had good turnout, even though we had some team members that were on holiday. For those that are still around, we still had a good turnout at all our sessions. So thank you so much for making that a reality. Okay, good positive energy during the sprint. Well done, team, for that. We had good positive energy. Like I said, we had a lot of people on holiday, but we're still able to achieve what we committed to because we worked well together. So thank you, team members, for that. And the last post on the what went well column says team collaboration went very well. Okay, so that's still part of us having, being a team player and being able to work well during the sprint. So thank you so much for all those comments, all those good comments, things that went well and the things that we want to continue to do. So we'll keep that up. And then I'm just going to move to the what didn't go well column. Okay, so the first point there says network glitch. I don't know who puts that there and who can explain that for us, please.
Yes, I'm the one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, thank you. I think like last week, if you can remember, around 1 a.m. there was network. It was announced, and the IT department announced that there was a breakdown in the server. I don't know if any of this team can remember this or there was
I think I saw that email also. Yeah, I did.
It affected us too. I think I wrote a comment as well that actually caused some delays for us as well. So yeah. Okay.
All right, I guess going forward, it's one of the things that happens really that we can't fault anyone for. It's it's IT. You're expected to get that once in a while. But I'll still say we tried because if we're still able to achieve our sprint goal, even though we had that network glitch, and it's not something that is down to us, it's an external thing and it's a general thing in the organization generally. So yeah. But yes, it's one of the things that didn't go well for us during the sprint. Okay, and then the next point says we had some technical issues that caused some delays. Okay, so I think that's still the same. Talking about the same thing with the network glitch. Am I right?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And then the next one says faulty work tool. I think that's me putting that there on behalf of on behalf of Rita, because there was a time where Rita couldn't use the tester account she had because it wasn't working. And that took some days off us. Oh, well, luckily for us, we were able to complete, but it took some days off us and all that. But Rita, I believe that has been resolved now, because the last time I got in touch with you, you said it has been resolved.
Yes, it has. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, it's one of those things that didn't go well again. That's another thing that is out of our hands as a team to deal with. And then we have lack of communication. Anybody ready to explain on that?
Yes, that was mine. I think there was a bit of a communication gap between the BAs and the dev, some of the members of the dev team, and we were not able to communicate the requirements to them in a way that they understood, and that caused some delay. So we had to, by the time we got the feedback from them, we had to go back to the PO to get clarification, and then we clarified some of our stories as well. So I think we need to improve our communication. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Uzo, for that. What do you propose that we do in order not to have, kind of that coming up again? Anybody has any suggestion, or has something been put already in the improve column?
I believe so. I saw that a Three Amigos meeting has been
Okay.
proposed, and I think that was what we agreed, that we should have
Okay.
that going forward, so that we don't we were able to resolve any communication issues or lack of understanding of the requirements going forward.
Okay. So the lack of communication definitely will have the same thing with the lack of understanding the requirements because we didn't communicate it better, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Anybody else wants to give any other opinion, suggestion regarding that? No one? Okay. All right. And then we have the last one says some of our meetings were not time boxed and we wasted a lot of time. Explanation on this, clarification?
Yeah, that was mine as well. I just noticed that our refinement meetings went a bit long. I think we were not able, there was a particular meeting, we're not able to have a separate refinement. So I think it was merged with the sprint planning, and that made it go really, really long. So if we can have, going forward, if we can have maybe separate meetings for the refinement, I think that would really help us. And then we make sure that our meetings are time boxed. And if we have to go into the parking lot to have to hash out any other issues, then I think that will be better, rather than for the meeting just going on long. Obviously, there was a reason, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. I think I'm going to take a blame for that as a Scrum Master, not ensuring that we stayed within the time box, and if there anything else that comes up after the time has been, used up, then we can take that to the parking lot, just like you said. So thank you so much for putting that up. All right, we go to the improved column. So the things we want to improve on, the things we want to start doing in order to, improve our process and our progress as we go along. And I see the Three Amigos meeting. Who made the suggestion? You want to explain better on that?
Sorry. Are you talking about the Three Amigos meeting?
Yes,
Right?
yes, please.
Yeah, so this will be between the BA, the QA, and the developer.
Okay. So is that to help us to have a shared
forward.
understanding?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. We can take that on board. But I just want to check, will it be a meeting that will be coming up all the time, or just when we need that clarification? So it's not
It's
a meeting
only
that will
when,
come
yeah, it's only when it's needed.
when it's needed.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that could also include the PO as well.
Okay. All right. So we know that that's a meeting we'll have when it's needed and not just coming up all the time. Okay. So thank you for that. And then we have shared understanding of the requirements. Okay, I think that would fall in line also with the Three Amigo, isn't it?
Yes, basically between the BA and myself and the BA. So I think we should always get a meeting to discuss the requirement in details.
Okay.
Yes,
Which
and
you'll be
also,
able to do with the Three Amigos meeting, isn't it?
yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that suggestion for improvement. And then we have communication within the team. Anybody care to explain on this?
Yeah, that was mine, and that's in line with the Three Amigos meeting and the understanding of the requirements. So it's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And I think this is in line with us not being able to keep to the time box, the time management.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much for all the suggestions that we've made. Before we do anything else, I just want to quickly group all the ideas that are the same in the same column together. So I'm just going to quickly do that. I think the collaboration went well and good positive energy goes together because it's talking about us to collaborating together. Is it okay for us to group those together as the same
Yes,
idea?
it is. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
All right. Okay, that's been grouped together, and I think attendance was great. Achievement of sprint goal, those are different ideas. Creation of the landing page. Okay, so those ones are all different ideas, so they can stay separate. And then if we go to the what didn't go well column, we have some of our meetings were not time box, a lot of time wasted, lack of understanding, lack of communication. Okay, so can we group those together? The lack of understanding and lack of communication.
Yes, I think those go
Yeah.
together.
Okay. All right. Just going to push them together. They're talking about the same idea. And then we have some technical issue caused some delays. And then I think that, okay, network glitch and some technical issues, we can group those ones together. Yeah, but they're
Yes,
saying the same thing.
yes.
Okay, all right. So when we come to our improved column, I think all the ideas we have there are just separate. Okay, so as a team, do we want to take all four in to our newsprint, or we just want to take the most important ones so that we can vote on the ones we feel are the important ones, and those are the ones we take action on for the sprint we're going into? What do we think?
I think the Three Amigos meeting covers the
The
lack
other
of
one,
yes. I think
understanding,
yes, and
communication with them.
communication.
Okay, so
Yes.
it covers three, so we can actually group those together
Mhm.
because we're trying to achieve the same thing with all those. And then we have, so we just have the Three Amigos when needed to have shared understanding, and then we have the time management. Do we want to take those two actions in, or do we want to vote for either or, and then take just one into action in this sprint, in the next sprint we're going into? Yeah, should we vote for which one we want to take in? I think the Three Amigos, the time management is quite important also, and then the Three Amigos also.
Yeah,
Both
I
are
would suggest
quite
we take
important.
Three Amigos. Yeah.
Yeah. So do we want to take the Three Amigos in?
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right, I'm just going to go back to collect, and then our action will be okay. And who is going to spearhead that? Who is going to call that meeting if we need it? So that I can make the person accountable for that. Developer? Okay.
Uzo BA.
BA, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take responsibility for that. Yeah.
So I'm going to make that yours. And then for the time management, I'll take responsibility for that. Okay. So as the Scrum Master, I'm taking responsibility for that to ensure that we do time box. So those are the two. And then just for visibility purposes so that we can track these actions, I'm just going to create work items for them. All right. Okay. Sorry, Uzo, I'm going to assign that to you.
That's
And I'll
fine.
put it on the backlog. I don't want it to distract us during the sprint. Okay. I'm just going to put that in the backlog. And then I'll create another one for myself so that I can keep track of it and just remind myself so that I don't forget that. Okay, so okay, I'm going to put that in the backlog also. Thank you so much. So those are the two actions we're taking into the next sprint we're going into. Thank you so much. Do we have any other updates? Anything anybody wants to say? I want to shout out to anyone. I'm shouting out to the whole team. Well done for achieving the sprint one. And let's, as we've said on our reflection, let's double our progress and our process going forward so that we're more productive and we're adding more value to the to the stakeholders and the end users in what we're creating. So thank you so much, Tim, for joining the meeting. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Sure.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
Monday.
Yeah.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Uzo. Thank everyone.
Yeah, wonderful weekend, everyone.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. And that is our retrospective wrap up and also the wrap up for the end of sprint one. So as a Scrum Master, I will start preparing the board for the sprint two, ensure that we have the story, reaching out to Uzo, who is the BA, to ensure that she has had the meeting with the PO, Bulu, in order for us to have the stories that are going into the next sprint ready before we start the sprint on Monday when we meet, if Monday is the start of sprint. Okay, so that is the wrap up. And then another thing I want to show us also quickly is to go on our dashboard. Okay, so the dashboard might not have what we need to see because, like I said, this is 2 weeks that we're trying to wrap up in a day. Okay, so but you can see the green aspect. If I just show you that label, you can see it says remaining 9, and then 3 has been completed. The total scope was 12. 3 has been completed. You can see that. So it's showing us what has been done. But because, it didn't cover the whole day, you were not able to see everything that has been moved over. Okay. And then, yeah. So your metrics won't show a lot. You can see it says 0 of 84 hours because we've moved everything we've worked on all the way to the end. So it should be showing 84 hours, but because we didn't take it through all the days, that's why you're having that. But if you come to the overview, this is the sprint overview. You can see that everything that we had, because we moved all the stories. So at the end of your sprint, where you are able to complete everything you took into sprints, this is what you will have. You'll have the green bar at the bottom of it. They're showing you that everything you took into that sprint, you've been able to complete. Also, this is what you will have on your velocity. Your velocity will show green all through because we've been able to move everything across. But like I said, we've compressed 2 weeks, 14 days into 1 day. But by the time you have your sprint one or let me say your sprint 0, your sprint 1, you will see what your metrics would be showing you. So that is the wrap up for the demo and the workshop for the Scrum ceremonies that we have for you tonight. I know you've got questions that you want to ask. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and then you're free to ask all the questions that you want to ask concerning the ceremonies that we've just taken you through. Allow me, you have your hands up.
Okay, hi. Sorry. I'm not sure if I heard the question, but I was expecting one of my people to ask for what the Three Amigos is. And then secondly, I was responding to a chat, but I think I wrote B at some point. But anyways, what I meant was PO. And then I continue to say, remember the PO are part of the Scrum team. Somebody was asking if the PO will be part of the people in the review, reverting to you and giving you just, the feedback and all. So I was just reminding the person that the PO would have done UAT to actually avoid that kind of scenario in the first place. And PO is part of the team. I just wanted to correct that. That's one. Then secondly, for the Three Amigos, I was expecting one of you to ask about what the Three Amigos is. Yes, I know they mentioned the people that will be in the meeting. Why are they having the Three Amigos? What is the reason for it? What are they using the Three Amigos for? How often does it occur? Those kind of things. I was expecting a question from that. Or do we understand what it is? I just didn't want it to slip by and everybody doesn't know what it is. Though I still expect us to take this information little by little. So are we good? Do we understand what it is? Okay. I want to believe that people understand it. So,
no, as a Scrum Master, I was going to ask before you came on. So I actually wrote it down in my notes. What's Three Amigos?
No, it's because you guys have been asking during the course, on the chat box. So I was actually expecting it on the chat box. So it's fine. So is there anybody that wants to try amongst you first? I want to believe somebody would have done that research already within this short time. If any one of you want to try exactly what they use Three Amigos for.
I can try. I think it's, sorry, I'm just moving away from the noise. I think it's made up of like I don't want to call them the three brains, but like the business analyst who is writing the story, the person who would develop it, and then the person who will kind of test it. So they're like those three people are very key. So I am suspect, thinking they will be the one you referred to as the Three Amigos.
Okay, yeah, you've said the people that participate in it. Then that BO also can be swapped with a PO, because most times in organizations, yeah. So most times you can just have just your PO. Then sometimes you have a PO and a BA. But the PO and the BA, sometimes their role, they kind of place some common roles when it comes to all this. So sometimes you might actually have 4 different roles there, which would be PO standing alone, BA standing alone, and then the developers and the QA. But all these things, I keep saying it that it depends on the peculiarity of the organization. But yes, you are very correct by saying a BA, and somebody else can say a PO and it will still be right. Yeah. So what they're just trying to do is, sometimes when you're doing development work, you might need extra time, extra clarity for everybody to actually know exactly what they are working on. So they use these Three Amigos to clear all the work. That's the scope of the work. They plan properly. They resolve things that they are not in sync with. You are a team, so one way or the other, you guys have to be almost like on the same page on things. So they use these Three Amigos to have some discussions and all that. Yeah. Then you see, all these things, I don't like to exempt other roles. Sometimes you might even be invited. There might be some things you might need to speak within it. And like I said, all these things is peculiarity in your own organization. So everybody has different ways, but same common goal. I hope you get the gist. Same common goal of what you use your Three Amigos for. Yeah. So I won't over bombard us. If any QA I said QA, if any B or anybody wants to talk about it, yeah, anybody actually, you can still go ahead. But that's basically it. And I'll advise that all these things I've told you guys to read up on, please try and read up on it, have better understanding of it, go through it. This learning journey is your own journey. You have to try your best to go through it. Okay, thank you. We have 30 more minutes to the end of this call. So I hope that we can even finish before then. So let's go for the questions. I would like to, before I proceed, I'd like to say thank you very much to all the mentors and Moji for facilitating this, and how we went. I hope you guys understood it as much as you could. So please, if you have questions, this is a safe space. I keep reminding us, please feel free to ask your questions. So I hope that's clear for you, Essay, yeah, and every other person.
Yes.
Okay, Olawumi, did you want us to stop recording and restart, please?
Okay, I will stop recording and restart. Thank you. So